What's going on, y'all? Welcome again for those who are just joining us to the STEM Success Summit. We're on the second half of day one, and y'all are in for a treat. I know y'all have already gotten a lot of value, and I hope y'all are lighting it up in Slack. You've already given away, what, $50 at least? Yeah, we're giving away money, giving away gift cards and prizes in the Slack. Right now, we have Dr. Jalaal Hayes. It's going to be bringing us some more jewels, some more information that you can apply to your STEM success journey. So without further ado, I'm going to hand the floor over to our next presenter. Hope to see y'all involved and participating. Floor is yours.
All right, thank you so much. And thank y'all so much for the STEM Summit team for having me. And what I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about how to invest in your STEAM dream. For those who don't know, as we probably already know, what STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. So the order for the presentation today, I just want to keep it real holistic, not really get into technical like my other peers. So what we're going to do, we're going to just focus on some key questions I want you to ask yourself as you're looking through this whole presentation. Now I'm going to give an introduction and the goal for this whole presentation, types of investments in STEAM, closing remarks, and then last but not least, some question and answers. All right. So some key questions I want y'all to ask yourself is just basically two questions. One question is who I want to be in the STEAM world, basically your identity in the STEAM world. And the second question is what kind of impact I want to leave in the world overall. So just keep that in mind as we're going through the presentation, as you hear me speak, as well as you look at the content on these slides. And also, I just wanted to keep it real, just a reminder, just a holistic view. Not a lot of technical this time, just really holistic to try to get some mindfulness as we proceeding and navigating our STEAM journey, and as well as investing in ourselves. So introduction, first of all, my name is Dr. Jalaal A. Hayes. A lot of people call me Dr. Ja in my community, as well as in my field. I'm 26 years old, I'm a professor, and I started my journey at the age of 15, graduating high school and from North Philadelphia originally. 3 years later, I graduated from Lincoln University, double major, and then 4 years after that, I graduated as the youngest Ph.D. in applied chemistry in America, according to the National Academy of Science. And the reason why I say that is going to tell into what is the goal for this presentation. Along my journey, one thing I learned was I had to make a lot of investments. Some people say sacrifices. I like to say investments because those investments is not time wasted, but they are actually help me gain my time and allow me to navigate what I need to do in order to pursue STEM success and STEM as overall in my journey. So that's basically going to be the goal for this presentation. The type of investments we're going to look at are the following. We're going to look at specialized knowledge, which a lot of us know we got to do specialized knowledge, networking, mentorship, and last but not least, how to protect those type of investments, which is last but not least, to protect your brand. Because we live in a world now where we live in a gig economy and we live in all types of economies in general. In terms of STEM, is very broad. We want to figure out how to protect those things. Specialized knowledge. We know that in STEM that we all have specialized knowledge we need to acquire through schooling. And we know that through, we have elementary school, middle school, high school. We gain all this knowledge even through college and now grad school. But one of the things we have to realize is, are we really an expert in that knowledge? And how we know we're an expert in that knowledge? We know that we're an expert in that knowledge through practicing it, through applying. As we know, that's the true meaning of education. We're not only just gaining knowledge downloaded to our mind, but we also applying it through laboratory research, through speaking about it, through talking through our peers. We have to show that we have to apply that knowledge. And if we don't have the ability to apply the knowledge that we have, we must have to get it through field experiences. And those field experiences can be through internships, it can be through grad studies, it can be through apprenticeships, whatever that may be. But nevertheless, we have to make sure we have specialized knowledge. Why we have specialized knowledge? Because we want to bring things to the table. And in bringing things to the table, that's where networking comes involved. So one of the key things that we already know, this cliche, is it's not about what you know, but it's about who you know. And if the who you know is going to carry you further. So therefore, one of the second investment that we have to take into consideration, other than investing in yourself, is investing in relationships. So investing in yourself is the knowledge piece. What type of knowledge do I want to have in order to be an expert in my field to bring to the table when we start conversing with other people? Now, those people can be involved in, can be regarding not just in your area, but also outside your area as well. One of my experiences is networking outside my area is very, very key in that you can learn a lot from people that's not even in your field. Hell, not even probably not even your schooling or your education as well. One thing I learned when I finished grad school back when I was when I finished grad school back in 2015, I remember coming home from Philly and I learned a lot from one of my one of my neighbors back in Philadelphia, and learned that one of the things that he was talking about was electricity from the coil of Tesla, and he was telling me a story about it that I never even heard of. So just investing in those relationships as well as knowledge can be very key to help you spark an idea that allow you to invest in yourself. And that's just outside. But let's go back into understanding, okay, in regards to STEM, how we can invest in ourselves through networking. We can do it through conferences. We can do it through regular meetups. You can hook up with friends through social media, go through the meetups in that regard, social gatherings, etc. Networking is nothing more than just having a conversation with one with another person and just exchanging dialogue. And always remember to stay true student of life. You could be an expert in something, but if you're not a student of life or student in learning other fields, other aspects of the disciplines in STEM, you might be missing out on an opportunity to invest in your STEAM dream moving further. Next, when you feel like you can't take it much further, or you want to go in a different route, or you want to speed up like I did, one of the things was I really, really got involved with was mentorship. And the reason why mentorship is key, rule number one, we have to understand that we do not know everything. And that tells us back to the first point of specialized knowledge. We may know a lot in one area, but we do not know everything that is needed to know in the world. And mentorship can help cut that learning curve in trying to learn or understand everything. And mentorship also can help us save a lot of mistakes that we have in our life and in our STEM career. So, for example, I remember when I was pursuing my STEM career when I graduated from my undergraduate career. And one thing I learned was throughout my whole undergraduate career, I didn't have an internship. But and for some reason, I was reaching out by myself through application. I couldn't get a STEM internship. However, when I talked to my mentor, or when I connected and got a mentor, he knew people that I wouldn't be able to access and therefore get an internship and keep on moving, matriculating, and progressing in my STEM career. And even after my career, I was able to get a mentor that allowed me to speak at different conferences, speak at different, having other speaking engagements, and just grow my breadth of knowledge in STEM. So having a mentor is definitely key. And I advise it don't matter if you're young, middle age, or old. Mentors can carry you further in life and help you learn things at a faster rate. Because one thing you have to understand is that not only you learn at a faster rate, but you helping learn to not you learning how to not have and deal with those hurtful experiences that they endured, and understand that you could be a mentor as well. Don't just think that you have to just gain all the knowledge and keep it to yourself. Knowledge is more of a transitory thing. So what that means is transfer the knowledge. One of the reasons why I became a professor, because I saw what my mentor did for me, and now I'm doing for the mentees that I have, which is transferring the knowledge so they can cut their learning curve short, and therefore they can expand and endure and matriculate through their STEM journey faster. And one of the keys is you have to choose the right mentor. And what I mean by choose the right mentor, you have to choose somebody that works with your personality. So what do you mean by working with your personality? If you know that you need step-by-step methodical way of matriculating through your industry, and you know somebody just going to give you a worldview on what's going on, I mean, a worldview on just STEM and telling you all the pros and cons and not really giving you that methodical, then that's not the mentor for you. Some mentees rather have the worldview, some may have the methodical. Whichever one works for you is going to work for your personality. That'll be the mentor I advise you to choose. And last but not least, after all of that, and this is just I've just thrown this in there. One of the things you have to see is protect your investment, which is you. So after these relationship and knowledge that you have gained, you have to be able to protect your investment. And how do you protect your investment? You can protect your investment through the following thing. You can have intellectual property. One thing's copyright through paper. So whenever you matriculating, especially doing research, you want to make sure that you write papers. And the reason why is because those papers not only make you look good in the STEM field, but it also make you protect whatever you're writing on, and also make you look credible in the field. And I'm not just saying protecting. Next thing is the trademarks. Trademarks. This is just more for a branding piece. Whenever you're doing branding, or you're doing anything outside of what you're doing in terms of your field, you have to make sure that you protect everything, all costs, particularly your name. So trademarks, patents, and also getting into business, you want to do business in corporations. So to wrap it up, I just want to make sure that y'all write and answer the following questions in terms of the three things that have been talked about. Is basically what I asked before. Who are you and what you bring to the table? So in terms of who are you, got to ask yourself, who am I? And speaking into the future of existence, who am I in terms of a STEM leader? Who am I in terms of a STEM influencer? And what do I bring to the table in regards to networking or in trying to invest in my STEAM dream? And what the resources are available to me right now. What do you mean by resources? So if you're a student, you have the library. You can go to the library, read up on books, articles, anything that's pertaining to your STEM field. If you had friends that are in your groups, friends in your club, friends in your organizations, tap into those, communicate with those people, and make sure that you're able to get the resources as well as give resources in order to make the greatest investment for your STEM career. Tap into whatever it is right now that you see yourself, that you believe will help you in the future moving forward. Thank you. Y'all can follow me on my IG at Dr. J.A. Hayes, and I'm available to answer any questions that y'all have for me moving forward.
Dr. Jalaal, we good?
Yeah. Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
I think I finished everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I finished everything.
All right, cool. I appreciate it. We're gonna see if you can address a few things real quick on appreciate it. We're gonna get the sound back in the back. Whoa. All right, man. Sorry about that. All right, y'all. We're gonna try to throw you a couple of questions, man, so we can get you to respond to live. Of course, y'all know you can always reach them directly in the Slack channel.
Yeah.
But we got the team out here, man. I appreciate you, Drop. You dropped some real good nuggets, man. Particularly as you talked about how you can learn from other people, how mentoring can take you further.
Yeah.
A question that I always get on that particular topic is, what are like the rules of mentorship? You know what I mean? Like when you find someone that, okay, I want to be my mentor, how do you approach them? What does it mean? Do you meet with them very often? Do you hit them up with your cell phone? Always shoot them? Like, what would you say are the rules of mentorship? Because obviously you're in a place where you are now serving as a mentor for others.
Yes.
What do you say are the rules of engagement?
So I would say,
I think you're on mute, man. I can't really hear you. Did we lose you?
Hold on.
I think we lost your audio. All right, we're working on it. Just let me know when we hear you. Oh man, Dr. John, I think we lost you, man. You lost your audio. We got you on the live. Thank y'all for bearing with us.
All right.
Must be some kind of technical difficulty. But if you're in the chat, please let us know, what do you think are the rules of mentorship as we wait to hear what Dr. John has to say. So, what do you think are the rules of engagement when it comes to finding a mentor, when it comes to being a mentor? What's too much and then what's not enough? Those are the questions. Dr. John, is your mic on, man? Because I don't think it's coming. It's not showing.
Can y'all hear me now?
Okay.
Can y'all hear me now?
Okay, there you go. We hear you now, man.
All right. So rule number one for mentorship, you got to know, number one, what, as the mentee and seeking a mentor, what are you looking for in that mentor? So that's like number one. You can't ask somebody, for example, oh, I see you cool, you doing what you're doing. What do you want to, I just want you to mentor me. And I'm like, and I get that a lot. I'm okay. The first question I ask them, where do you see yourself from now? And majority of the people that I meet that are non-STEM majors, they would say, well, I just want to be successful. Mm-hmm. What does that look like for you? Because success for me might look different for you. So you have to be very specific on what type of, what are you asking for from your mentor or your potential mentor before you even ask them to mentor you. That's number one. And number two is see if, like I said before, see if that mentor, it fits your personality. So, for example, my personality is I'm laid back, reserved, but I would, in a one-on-one, I'll make sure I drop a lot of gems or a lot of advice to help you move forward. Now, some people might not like that. Some people want a mentor that's, that want to show them through experiences and take them everywhere and show them what they can do and just give them some exposure, rather than give them a tackle. So it's all about what works for you and how it's going to be effective for you. And nevertheless, in terms of the checking in time, I would suggest try checking with your mentor at least once a week. See how they're doing. Just simple, quick text, quick call. It's up to you. It depends on which your mentor's communication style. So if your mentor like to talk on the phone, talk to your mentor on the phone once a week and just check and say, hey, how you doing? Just want to just check and see how's everything going. And don't always ask them for something. Learn that you cannot always ask them for something. Just treat it like you're talking to one of your friends. Just check and say, hey, how you doing? Get the understanding and learning the person that you're with. And when you do that, you will be fine on how to navigate and allow that mentor to guide you through. Because one thing you don't want to feel like the mentor is, they like your mom and dad or somebody that's telling you what to do all the time. You want to make sure that mentor that's with you is navigate you, but it's in a friendly way that you don't feel like that they can't. It's like a kind of weird line. They can correct you, but they also doing it in a fun and loving way.
Right.
So that's one of the key things I tell people about mentorship.
That's good, man. And you mentioned as far as like a relationship, and this came up even a little before your presentation with Alante, and I'm just gonna ask you too as well. Like, how much does status come into play? Like, if you vibing with somebody and the relationship is positive, is it necessary to get someone that may be like the president of such and such, or they have a long resume, or do you think that people who may not have all the accolades and accomplishments are just as effective? Like what role do you feel like the status of the mentor plays in them as a good choice?
So I believe status can play a big role in terms of the mentorship. Like, for example, if you have a lot of accolades, you may not have the time to do the mentorship unless you truly bond or vibe with that person. But if you take on somebody that they're not serious, 9 times out of 10, that person who has a status going to be busy.
Right.
Because what the philosophy I live, a lot of people are not busy. They either going to make time for you or they not. And mentors usually make that time based off of the seriousness of their mentee. So if the mentee shows like they taking initiative, they doing everything the mentor asking them to do, they following up when they say follow up, they connect with that person that mentor say connecting with. That mentor will see that and say, okay, he making investment in himself. That makes me making a more investment in them.
Right.
But you have a mentee that's just, hey, I'm just around, and you trying to help them, but they really not trying to help themselves, or they're not showing any effort. Then that mentor who has a lot of accolades will start to become busy.
Yeah.
And I noticed that a lot. And I'm not even going to lie. Sometimes I do it a lot, is because my whole goal for mentorship is I want to make sure that you're helping yourself so that I can help you better.
Right.
So one of the questions I pose is, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have a sense of where you see yourself 5 years from now, and then it's going to be hard for me to try to get you into where you want to be. Because if you give me a target, I'm be able to say, okay, here are at least 5 potential steps on how to hit that target. Now, whichever 5 steps you're going to pick is up to you. But nevertheless, try at least 1 or 2, even all combination of these 5 steps to get to your goal. And I'm going to be there along the way to help you. But nevertheless, you have to show me you're going to take the initiative to invest in yourself.
Absolutely. Well, man, these are great nuggets, man. Definitely, if y'all are watching this, we're about to conclude this presentation, but you're going to hang around in the Slack a little bit?
Yeah.
Get some questions answered?
Most definitely.
Okay. All right, cool, man. Well, thank you. Thank y'all for joining us. Shout out to everybody on the chat via YouTube or what have you. But Dr. John, it's a pleasure to have you a part of this STEM Success Summit.
Thank you.
We'll connect with you more in Slack.
All right.
All right, bro.